Hi everyone, I'm Megan Raymond, Director of the Jefferson Public Citizens Program, and I'm here with
Brian Colati, the Associate Director of the Jefferson Public Citizens Program.
and we're doing a series of instructional videos for you on how to apply to JPC. So we're going step by step through the application and giving you advice and background on each of the questions. So this is our final installment in a series of videos. We're going to talk about faculty advisors, letters, community partners, and some of the final details of completing your application. So let's go ahead and jump in here.
So we're on the faculty advisor section right now of the application, and the nice thing about the way that we've structured the application for this year is that you can click on this link and you can download just this section and you can fill out what you need to here. And actually all you really need to fill out is the title of your JPC project, and then you can send this along to your faculty advisor to read over and sign.
I think this is pretty straightforward. There are a couple of things here that might be different for faculty advisors who've worked with JPC in the past. So we're asking the advisor to state the research question the project is seeking to answer. So obviously you want some alignment with what you've written in your proposal with what the faculty advisor is saying here. And then for the faculty advisors, there's also this separate section of listing 3 goals that advisor has for the students, for you all to accomplish by the end of the project. And that can be a wide range of things, anything from actual outcomes of the project to things that might develop among the students during the project.
And if your faculty advisor has any questions about either of these 2 sections, you can have them contact me or Megan, and we'd be happy to talk to them about that.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's some good explanatory text here. You can share that with them. But they should be writing something in here. Nothing long, can stay in the side of the box, doesn't need to be several pages. Just something short that is a set of goals that everybody agrees on. And then the faculty advisor would add his or her letter behind that top page. I guess actually one other thing about faculty advisor letters is that they should also be for the whole group, right? They're not, sometimes people think about advisor letters just for one student. That's sort of a typical recommendation letter. This is a little different because the faculty advisor is speaking for the project and all the students on the project. So you hopefully have been meeting with that faculty advisor for a bit, and he or she has a good sense of the group and can speak on your behalf. All right, community partner section.
And same thing for the community partner section as it was for the faculty advisor section. You can download just this section and send it along to your community partner. If they have an email address, that's probably the most effective way to do it. But we recognize that some community partners don't have an email address. You might be mailing something to them, hard copy, or even faxing something. So we can accept different forms of this, and in some cases, we can make special accommodations for if communications are a problem with a community partner that's abroad or something like that. But do try your best to give this form to them.
Yep. I think it helps complete the packet. And we have 2 specific questions for community partners. And as Brian mentioned, if they download this form, they can answer them here. Or if they're not going to be able to complete this hard copy form, they can answer these 2 questions in their endorsement letter. And the first is asking your community partner what their understanding of the time commitment needed from the JPC team is. So that there's just some, again, calibration of expectations of how often your group will be on site and how often your community partner is expecting to see you all there. And then I think also asking the community partner here what their expectations are for how the JPC project and the students can help move their organization toward its goals. So it's a way for them to think about how does this JPC activity fit into what the community organization is trying to achieve overall. And these kinds of things, these two questions can be addressed in the endorsement letter, but if it can be on this hard copy form, all the better.
And then similarly to the faculty advisor section, we want your community partner to write the endorsement letter, and then you can actually put that endorsement letter behind this form here. And we like for them to do it on organizational letterhead. It just gives us a sense that, yes, this is a real group you're working with, and it's, something that has some legitimacy to it. But we realize that's not always possible.
Whenever possible, it's preferred. There's also usually a lot of good contact information on letterhead, website addresses, and things like that, so we keep that data on file. All right, partnership agreement. Well, we might as well continue on with the discussion about the community partner. This is, again, a kind of, not quite a contract, but more just an agreement of how the project will operate and what are the operating procedures for moving forward. There are several items here for the community partner to agree to. If they can't, again, check the actual boxes and sign it, if they could just state that they support these requirements in their letter, that's fine. And yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, we just want everybody to sign this particular agreement together, because what it helps to do is, like Megan said, make sure everybody's on the same page. You're all, if possible, reading these things together, and so as questions arise about the JPC team's role or the community partners' role or the faculty's role, they can be answered by going through this form.
Yeah, I think it's another one of these pause points, and we talked about this in one of the other videos, just a time to reflect and think about how the relationship is actually going to work, how the partnership will work, and just some very important nuts and bolts about when you're going to be somewhere, how you will communicate, if there's going to be a gap in communication, how will that be sorted out. So please don't just buzz down along the boxes and check them all in and have someone sign. Please take some time to read them, talk among your group members and with your faculty advisor about what this all means, because the faculty advisor will also agree to some aspects of the partnership as well. And they're an important communication point for the community partners, so they should really look at this and read what they're agreeing to when they sign this. I think we're almost at the end of the application form. It's pretty involved, but all of it's necessary. Just some discussion here about the Institutional Review Board. Talked about that again in another video, but it's important to realize that if your project is going to conduct research with human subjects, then you'll have to comply with federally mandated research guidelines, and that's something that is coordinated through the Institutional Review Board office. And if you are accepted and awarded JPC funds, we'll give you a lot more information about that. But it's worth looking at IRB protocols and applications to get a sense of what might be expected of you.
And it sounds a little bit tedious, but it's actually very important. The university wants to make sure that everyone who is doing research with humans here at the university is doing it ethically. And in fact, if something were to happen with a research project here at UVA, and no matter who's doing it, whether it's a faculty member or a student, but we could potentially be liable of losing all our federally funded research money. So it sounds like, it's something that's a little tedious, but it's very, very important.
I think it's a really great learning experience to go through IRB and even reflect on some of the questions in their protocol. It's really about ethical engagement, which is part of the whole philosophy of JPC. So it's part of the whole picture. Really spend some time thinking about it as you move forward with your JPC proposal. International travel. The International Studies Office has a form for research and service learning abroad. that needs to be completed online. And when you complete it online, it produces a PDF that we're asking you all to append or include in your JPC application. And we give you a how to fill out that online form. There are tips there to step you through that. There are lots of specific questions about cultural competency, travel experience, anticipation of risk management, vaccinations, things like that. So again, more questions to discuss among your group and with your faculty member, maybe even with your community partner. So we said here, give yourself at least 1 week in advance to complete the form. I would maybe even say 2 weeks.
Yeah, this form does have a lot of questions on it, and again, it's not something that we're forcing you to do as some kind of bureaucratic exercise.
Mm-hmm.
It is really important, and part of the reason why the International Studies Office wants to have this information is if there was some sort of unfortunate event like there has been in the past, an earthquake in Haiti or something along those lines. And say you were in one of those countries, UVA would need to be able to know where you are, to know if you're safe. So this ensures that they have all your contact information and that they know. It's also requiring you to go through some basic questions to make sure that you'll be competent in another culture. And they're good things to think about.
Yeah, I think all of these pieces add up to applying for a very significant research service award. It's a fair amount of money that you all are applying for, and we're, as a public university, research university, we have a big resource network to support researchers, and so what you're getting to see now is all the different offices and administrators and people who are here to help you succeed in your research. And so the International Studies Office and IRB office, I see them as part of a resource network for student researchers. Okay, the final question on the application. Additional funding.
Yeah, here we just want to know if you're applying for anything else. It's not going to determine whether you get JPC money or not, but we just, like it says here, we want money to be able to be allocated fairly at the university, and so you may be applying for more than one thing, and perhaps you get everything that you apply for. And so it would be important for us to know that you got some funding from another source, and perhaps JPC program might partner with that other source, and so we could split the money half and half, and then there would be more money to go to other students to do other research projects.
I think that's a great description, and as I mentioned earlier, some projects exceed the JPC amount and they'll put their full budget in here, and then they'll explain in this question, if they have a $35,000 project, well, we're asking for $2,000 from this grant and $3,000 from this grant. And what we'll do here in the JPC office is coordinate with some of the other granting opportunities and see what kind of a package of funding can be put together if you're successful. So please let us know what else you're applying for so we can spread the wealth. And I think that brings us to the close of the application. And as we talked about in the checklist video, we ask you to please assemble all of these pieces in order. That really helps the review committee move quickly through all the materials and be able to review all of the applications consistently. I think that wraps us up.
I think so.
Excellent. Well, I hope these instructional videos have been helpful and informative to you. And please go ahead and check out also the JPC alumni videos on our YouTube channel, because there's lots of great insider advice from JPC students or former JPC students to you all on how to develop a project, find a faculty advisor, find a community partner. Excellent suggestions there. So we look forward to seeing your application in December.